Yes, President Tinubu has done his best. When he came, he took over, he came with an agenda. People who know his agenda know better now what is the difference between now and the arrival of President Tinubu to the scene. I know it, and I know we are far better than what we were before. And
hello and what's up, guys? In this video, something shocking has just happened, and it is already shaking Nigeria's political space. On a day when the nation is celebrating 65 years of independence, a well-known northern elder, Alhaji Tanko Yakasai, dropped a bombshell that has left many Nigerians divided. According to him, Nigeria today under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is far better than the country we had under former President Muhammadu Buhari's government, and even better than pre-independence Nigeria itself. Imagine that. Now let's break this down. The Minister of Information, Muhammad Idris, had earlier highlighted Tinubu's so-called achievements. He claimed Nigeria's external reserve has jumped from 37 billion to 42 billion dollars. The naira has gained 6% against the dollar. Inflation dropped from 32.7% to 20.1%, and notorious terrorists and bandit leaders have been neutralized or captured. A long list of positives, right? But the real shock came when Yakasai, a respected elder statesman from the north, openly backed Tinubu in a live interview. He said Nigerians are now fully in control of their destiny. Unlike the colonial era, when everything was dictated by the British, he insisted that after watching previous governments, Tinubu is doing far better than those before him, and that the progress so far is undeniable. This statement has caused serious reaction across Nigeria. Supporters of Tinubu are celebrating it as a powerful endorsement, but critics are saying it is either political loyalty or an attempt to rewrite history, pointing out that millions of Nigerians are still battling poverty, high food prices, and unemployment. And then comes the big question: why will a northern elder openly dump Buhari, a son of the north, to praise Tinubu, a southern leader, in such glowing terms? Is this a genuine assessment, or is there something bigger at play here? Politics, power shift, or even personal loyalty? Guys, I will let you watch this video for yourself so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look, guys, and remember to share your thoughts after watching.
As we mark 65 years as a nation, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, has highlighted the progress made by President Bola Tinubu's government in the past year. From the growth of the external reserves from $37 billion to $42 billion, the naira has also gained about 6% against the US dollar over the year. Inflation, which stood at 32.7% a year ago, has also fallen to 20.12% in August and is still declining, among other positives. Also, in the area of security, many notorious terrorists and bandit leaders who were actively unleashing violence a year ago have been neutralized or are now in captivity, with security agencies continuing to score improvements in both capacity and synergy. Joining us to take a look at the state of the country in the past year as we celebrate Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary is Alhaji Tanko Yakasai, an elder statesman. Good morning, Alhaji Yakasai, and thank you very much for joining us on the morning show. Nigeria is 65. What are your views?
can you increase the volume?
Okay, something with the volume. Okay, but if you can just hear me, Nigeria at 65, we would like your thoughts, your views on Nigeria at 65. Please go ahead, sir.
Well, 65 years, either in Nigeria or anywhere else in the world, is a very long time. And people have been busy working day in, day out to make progress, to move from one position to another. We have done that also in Nigeria. We have worked hard. 65 years ago, we were under British colonial domination. Today, 65 years, we have been ruling ourselves. We decide our agenda, We follow what we decided bit by bit, and eventually we succeeded. What we are doing now is our own responsibility. We do it for the benefit of our people. We plan it and we execute it according to our plan. So I think we have done a lot given the circumstances. Previously, we are not under control of ourselves. We are not under control of our destiny. From 60 years now, we are in control of our destiny. We plan for what we want, and we set out to execute what we hope will achieve our objective. And we have been, by and large, achieving what we set out to achieve. I'm sure people who are watching us from somewhere else, outside Nigeria, will bear with me, or agree with me, that we have done a lot. I haven't been to all parts of the world to know the difference between now and 60 years ago in those countries. But I've been in Nigeria. I know what it was before, and I know what it is today. 60 years ago, no administrative organ of Nigeria was under the control of Nigerians. But today, everything is under the control of Nigerians. And we are planning what we are set out to achieve, and we work hard to achieve it. Sometimes 100%, sometimes less than 100%, but whatever it is an achievement. So I'm happy that we are now ruling ourselves, and we are setting our agenda, and we work hard to achieve our agenda. And in most cases, we've been very successful in achieving our agenda.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Now, my question is, looking forward, what must this administration do to take Nigeria to the promised land?
Well, you know, I'm not a member of government. I'm a supporter of the government of the day, but I'm not a member. People in the government are in a better position to tell you what the government has planned to do and what they hope to achieve. But my support for the government is informed by my understanding of the commitment of the government of the day. I know the president before he became president. I know what he set out to do. I know what he is doing so far. And in my opinion, so far, so good. I believe that, by and large, people will agree with me that he has achieved quite a lot within the period that he is controlling this country.
Okay, if you say things are better today, why do Nigerians still look back at yesteryears with a lot of nostalgia and say Nigeria was better then?
No, anybody who was in Nigeria at that time, before independence, and will talk about Nigeria today, will tell you that Nigeria of today is far better than the Nigeria of independence era. If anybody says that we have not done well, maybe he has not known what was happening before now. He's only speaking from his own side, from what he's able to observe. But he didn't know what happened before. But those of us who knew what was happening before know that we are making tremendous progress. I'll give you an example. Before independence, the entire administration of Nigeria was in the hands of the white man, the British. Today, no single responsible position of government in Nigeria is in the hands of British or any foreigner. Everything is in the hands of Nigerians. And the Nigerians, they are doing their best. We have been having elections after elections. Parties who performed during the election, after the election, they are now performing better. Those who are not prepared were replaced because they are not performing. So I think we are making progress tremendously. But certainly, somebody who does not know what Nigeria was before cannot be making an informed judgment of the position of Nigeria today.
Well, initially, I'd asked you about your support for the Tinubu administration. The president spoke highly of what his administration has been able to do. Do you believe in the message of hope that President Tinubu offered, and your support that Tinubu should be the man that should lead Nigeria forward?
Yes, President Tinubu has done his best. When he came, he took over, he came with an agenda. People who know his agenda know better now what is the difference between now and the arrival of President Tinubu to the scene. I know it, and I know we are far better than what we were before. And if you go around the country, ask people one after the other, their opinion will be that we are better off than we were before. But you are in a democracy where people are free to air their views, and in a democracy you have a party in government, you have opposition. Nothing party in government will do will satisfy opposition. Opposition will always complain. So if you are unlucky to meet an opposition supporter, he will not see anything good in what the president has done. But I know that the president has been doing his very best. I watched previous government before him, and in comparison, I think he is doing very, very successfully well.
Summary of President Tinubu's remarks on 65th Independence Day. The worst is over. Tinubu declared that Nigeria had passed through the most difficult phase and was now entering recovery. He framed the earlier reforms, though painful, as necessary to reset the economy. He referenced a second quarter GDP growth of 4.23%, the fastest in 4 years. He added that inflation had dropped to 20.12%, its lowest in 3 years. He noted that the external reserves had risen to about $42.3 billion, the highest since 2019. He also mentioned that Nigeria was now posting trade surpluses for 5 consecutive quarters and that oil production was rebounding to 1.68 million barrels per day. On exchange rate and naira stabilization, he emphasized that the era of multiple exchange rates was over. The foreign exchange regime had been unified, and he claimed the naira had become more stable. On export trade surplus, he portrayed Nigeria increasingly as an exporter rather than just a net buyer. The trade surplus was used as evidence of stronger external position. On tax reform and future trajectory, the president indicated that with the coming tax law taking effect the next year, the revenue-GDP ratio would further improve. The president claimed one of his administration's highest achievements was in the Ministry of Interior, accelerating the pace and volume of passport issuance. The president said the world is taking records of Nigeria's effort, implying that global investors are beginning to see the country's turnaround. On social and fiscal support, the president said his administration has distributed 330 billion naira to vulnerable households, making it 8 million households under the social investment schemes. He also affirmed ongoing investment in infrastructure, roads, rails, airports, seaports as part of a broader development push. The president acknowledged the pressure of high cost of living, inflation, and public hardship during this reform phase. He phrased the alternative, not taking bold reform, as deeper crisis, which would mean runaway inflation, debt default, fuel shortages, collapse of public finances. He cast security as foundational. Without safety and stability, economic gains cannot take hold. It's the truth at a time. Take care and happy independence.